Hey,
Again.
cool. Let's start with capacity because now, I mean,
Oh
we
yeah.
haven't merged in this PR. Have you seen Luke's PR for the new product groups? Yeah.
I found that PR so, but I'm not sure. Is it merged?
No, not yet. But it tells us what the capacity will be
Hmm.
for each team. What is it? Oh yeah, 104 for each team.
Hmm.
So we can update.
And
Yeah,
then this sprint started today, I guess. Yeah.
correct. Well, we
But this one
started
is
it.
longer.
Yeah, we made it longer, but let's check the calendar real quick. I think we, as in the product design team, made it longer. Do. Where is the kickoff? The kickoff's not till Thursday, the 2nd. So technically it hasn't started yet. How many days will it be then? I think what we'll do for the days remaining then is we'll just keep it at the high water mark, whatever that is, until we hit this day, which is, what is that? One, two. Here, let me get fleet releases on here. Also, the calendars
Yeah.
are off too.
But this one starts on early, so probably Luke moved because there's no one at those times.
Yeah, most people are off 30, 31 in the first. So
I
this
think
sprint,
then
I'll go
capacity
for it.
will be less than 104 because I assume most people
Hmm,
is off at
good
least.
point. Good point. So I guess what we can do then is pretend like, how does your Excel sheet work again for the days remaining?
I think what
You can
I
just
do
subtract
is,
3 days from it, right? One, two, three, and that'll be the start.
I guess that probably will work because how it works is like it adds like let me share.
Like 15 total, you start with 15 days.
Yeah, if you start with like 15, then it adds like whatever capacity is like once more, so double it. Because
Uh-huh.
like you have that sprint because we are tackling bugs and some other stuff which isn't ready. So I
Right.
count and then when it's close to the like as it as it's like close to the end, then it
Right.
gets
So it'll
to
be
whatever
12.
capacity.
Like it'll never, right. I think that'll be good enough. It'll be 12. And for the estimated points in the drafting board, I met with Luke um and George last week and we gave two stories P2. So like we can subtract because right now in that estimated column, we haven't pulled the stories for next sprint into the next sprint, right? Because that kickoff is on Thursday. So we can subtract both of those P2s, whatever the totals are, from 97 points.
18,
Does that make sense?
1834,
That makes sense, right? Because
45.
those will be out of the S drafting board when we kick off.
Sprint, yep. I guess they will be in the ready then.
Uh-huh. Bugs will still be in ready.
Yeah, bugs, but there's also stories and
Yeah.
subtasks. But I guess like folks will take some, and then it will be less than. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is like excluding those P2s.
Yeah.
Then, um, so let me see. What about bugs? I think there is, 58. Ooh, there's a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
I'll see if there's some of them that I can clear from the board. And there's 30 more, which is 60. And I don't know what's in ready. It's 11.
Mhm. you might have to adjust. I think you might have had like the old 154 somewhere. Like MDM sprint capacity is 104. And then what was the calculation for this? 187?
It's it's percentage like depending on how much days is like if it's 15 it is like double. Um as that if it's 12 then it takes like
Oh,
yeah
gotcha.
like
So it has
percentage.
nothing to do with the total sprint capacity. Gotcha. I was just wondering.
Yep.
Why is
But
this
it
up
but
to
it
142 though? That's the weird part.
I think it's because yeah it's like a bit complex. So we take depending on if B2 is if these three together
Uh-huh.
are larger than C5, which is this one,
Uh-huh.
minus estimated, I think then we have some calculation, but then if it's not, then so I think it's probably one of I think yeah, that's it. So basically subtract this like what's estimated from what's
Mm,
here, because these three all together,
right.
I think that's like because as time goes and then there's
Hmm.
less days, it will be like way smaller. If we have still a bunch of bugs and ready, like stories in ready column, then the capacity will be probably like in minus, so it will be no enough. So yeah, right now it's just kind of I think the logic is considering okay, there's these,
Hmm.
and there's still like less than I think I take whatever is capacity minus estimated, and then
Got it.
if that is larger than what we have here, then I think we just like subtract these two, and then as time goes, like, and then I think we count also these, because like
Right.
what we
But
what we assume.
should this ever be larger than 104? That's what I'm confused about. Because the
I
max,
think yeah, because now like you like bugs are also worked this sprint,
uh-huh,
and also these stories and subtasks are kind of worked in this sprint. And then I take also capacity of this sprint as well into account. And
right,
then like when it comes to zero, so we are at that day when sprint is finishing, and we still have a bunch of bugs, for example, and some estimated stuff, and then I'll count
right.
everything, and then it's like there's no enough like capacity.
Ah, I
I can't
see.
I
Okay,
can't
because the
remember now
zero,
exactly,
you
but
put
yeah,
the zero in. Got it. Yeah, I'm just confused. Yeah, I'm still confused why it's going above the remaining design capacity is, yeah, what is that calculation? So it's that if it's greater than C5
like
minus
so the thing
B1.
is like you now just have like this whole sprint. So
Uh-huh.
it's let's try to break down. So
Oh
if
yeah, there's
this
129. So those are all the, yeah.
these like so whatever is like bugs and current like stories and the
Mhm.
sprint, which is 129, if
Where does
that's larger,
C5,
then
where does C5 come from? What's the calculation for C5?
it's
C5.
so basically it's what capacity is,
Uh-huh.
and then based on how many days is left. So if it's just starting sprint, there is 15 days left, so that will be 100%. So basically I will just double that
Ah,
sprint
I see.
capacity
I see.
because in this current sprint we work on these three things.
Right, right.
This is for upcoming sprint.
Yeah, I
So
see.
and this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
for current sprint. And then
Gotcha.
what I
Do you
do is
mind
like
clicking on C5 real quick? I'm just curious to see what the calculation is.
it's basically B5, which is like
Times, yeah,
capacity
times two.
plus yeah percentage of like so you get like
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So like
That's
that
like
number will go,
83%.
got
If
it.
it's like
Over time,
0%, yeah,
it'll go to 104 when we
exactly.
hit
So
the
like
last
last,
day.
right.
Yeah,
So that will be okay. Now we have exactly
gotcha.
104 for the next sprint. And then let's see, okay, do we have still bugs? Yes. So those bugs will go and carry over into
Yeah.
next sprint and these will carry over. So that's the idea. I'm not sure if it's completely true, but like,
Yeah, I'm just
uh,
surprised how why 142 seems big, doesn't it?
but let's say that now days will go and then we'll be at like three, we'll have uh, more like estimated, and
Mm-hmm,
then we'll
mm-hmm,
have a bit less bugs, but
mm-hmm.
maybe we'll have still same amount of bugs than if it's zero, then I don't count. So maybe that's not
Oh,
completely accurate.
right, right. You
But
know what we're also not accounting for is so we took those P2s out of drafting, but we didn't put them in. Like technically they're going to go to ready, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's worth moving those. What was the total again
I mean,
for those
double
two
check.
P2s? It was like 18 plus 34.
I think so. Double check. This one is 18, 34, right? So 63.
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
it's like because the thing is like if I don't have this like or how many days is left, we
Mm-hmm.
always count like 104, whatever is that's capacity that's reserved for next
Right,
sprint where it starts. And now we have this current sprint, and these
right.
bugs and everything will be worked on, and these stories are also taken out of this sprint. So like yeah, that's why I'm kind of making.
Yeah.
And then there's like this I have this like if condition if like bugs
Uh-huh.
or estimate like bugs and store current stories in the sprint are like larger than C5 minus B1, which is like if it's larger from this like sprint
Yeah.
capacity for both like current and upcoming sprint minus estimated because like estimated is that's like I consider that's upcoming sprint, so I take out that from this sprint, and then whatever is left is like okay, if those are bigger, that means that there will be some carryover in the next upcoming sprint, and then I do like this calculation here. Otherwise, I just like if there is no carryover, I say okay, this is my like capacity. I just subtract like whatever is estimated, and then I get some number here. Otherwise, it's like a bit complex, more complex, like which is
Mm-hmm.
like I take capacity minus like bugs minus like I think this is because I think I had somewhere written down this um minus this is like okay for upcoming sprint I'm taking out or current sprint so
Mm-hmm.
bugs plus B1. Oh no, I just messed up.
Oh, it added it back. Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
um, but
I
yeah, it's
gotcha.
like so basically
Do
the whole kind of formula is like okay, let's see what's current sprint and then what should be the next one. So I think this one is like, okay, this is current sprint minus C5 is like total of capacity without estimated because that's like, okay, this is what's in the current sprint.
mm-hmm.
Then plus this one. I'm even confused. So yeah. So total thing minus bugs minus whatever is like left from I don't know. I think I have
Yeah, it's
written
getting
down. I'll try to find.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, do you mind, yeah, finding um bringing this to the next product design sync? Because um I want to be doing the same thing on the or sorry, the orchestration
yeah,
and the
makes
software team.
sense. I'll prepare myself. I'll just like lay out everything and like what
Sounds
was
good.
my thought process behind each of these like calculations. I know I was
Cool.
just like, yeah, like current sprint versus upcoming. So that's something because like if there's no like if there is bugs that yeah, like depending if we don't have enough bugs to carry over into the next sprint, I think then we just but now like when it's last day, you see it will be like we'll be already at capacity because we have a lot of bugs that are
Right.
unsolved. So this will eventually go down during the time. This will go like down during the sprint, and then at the end you will have okay 104 for the next sprint, and then at the end you will see okay I have like also bugs and stuff.
Right.
So
And that's why it's
and then I,
important to check this every day because like I think the moment when we hit negative design capacity is when we should stop um designing or at least move on to other work. So that's why we should come in here every day and see if it hits, if this number turns, goes below zero.
yeah, I guess like because this will obviously go like let's say till a point where I don't like how because we have two P2s that will probably
Mm-hmm.
cover whole sprint.
Mm-hmm.
These
Not
bugs
quite.
probably won't.
It'll get close, but
Okay,
yeah,
no, it's 18, and so it's half of the sprint.
yeah.
I don't know, like if there are other stories, but let's say we just work on those bugs, and but there's bugs like worth of like whole sprint, and
Mm-hmm.
we can tackle just half, for example, and then let's say we'll still have 60.
Right.
Um,
Well, let's say we get this
so
down to zero and then like we hit all the stories and then we get this goes down to zero. What does that look like? Like let's say we get to no bugs, which is the worst case scenario. Oh, no, I think you want to leave that those bugs ones, but turn the story points into a zero. Yeah. So we'll be at zero.
program messed up something, I don't know. Anyway, it's like so basically
But we wouldn't be at
this
zero because we would have a full sprint's worth of bugs left.
like let's say that we have like around half of the sprint capacity of P2 stories, and half of the
Yeah, but
capacity goes to bugs.
did you just see how it didn't really make sense? Like if you put when we go back to having like we get to all the stories in next sprint, that means next sprint we say like if you put a zero in there, yeah. We should this should be negative still, right? Because look at how much up here we have. It's more than 104. Oh, but it would be for the next design
For the next
sprint.
sprint. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha, gotcha. And we would reason about that with like, okay, we would stop. We wouldn't be able to bring in any more work. Okay, I see what you're saying. Because we would be kicking off the next design sprint and then we'd already be at zero. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like I need to also think a little bit more, but the thing is, yeah, like we have bugs, we have like whatever is estimated that's like not for this current sprint.
Hmm.
We just like counting that for next sprint, and then depending on how much points of bugs and these stories and subtasks we have,
Yeah.
then we need to know, okay, are we carrying over anything of any of these? If yes, then we need to add that into calculation, and then like also depending on how many days is it. I don't know, it's pretty I'm not sure if this is correct. I need to also
Okay.
think a little bit more, but it's pretty complex. So I don't know, like probably we should have I don't think there is a way to honestly calculate this. Um,
Yeah, I wonder if there's a
Like
way to
super,
simplify. If we're,
I
yeah.
guess like we could do some like each time some like I don't know, we check in every week, okay, and see how many bucks, and then we roughly decide, okay, this is probably what it will.
Well, we want to do every day because like it's things are, we want to stop design. We want to get to the place where we're stopping designing around the right time. But to your point, it's like how close, how accurate can we be? Um,
But the whole point is like, okay, I guess now it's like this is like sprint where we have a lot of bugs, which
hmm
basically is like this is estimated, this is unestimated, and then these are more than
hmm
like whole sprint
Right,
capacity of MDM team.
right.
Um, I assume maybe some bugs will be like transferred to software group. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's already
And
done.
we'll get to some bugs. Um, like I
I
don't
guess
think
like
it'll just
with
be
this
stories.
capacity,
Yeah.
we might like have like and resolve this. Let's assume this is half. Then we
Uh-huh.
still have like 60 of them. And
Right.
then at this point, like this and this will be resolved. So it will be zero. Then you will
Uh-huh.
still have like 60 bucks. You'll
Right.
have like estimated 45, maybe more.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and then I guess it also depends. Okay, in the next sprint, if we decide there is some P2s, then
Right.
we work on them. If not, then we work on bugs. And then like it's usually hard to know this. I'm not sure honestly if it's possible to calculate this to be exact. But if we are close to, and then
No.
kind of
I don't think we need to be exact. The goal here is to not like to make it so we don't have a backlog in the estimated column for drafting. Like we want to get to the point where there's like as few stories as possible estimated.
yeah. But
Um,
also like if if we know like we need to know like if we are going to like for this formal to work like okay we know we assume that we work always on bugs
uh-huh.
but we don't like sometimes we can't because we have P2s and then
But
we need to work on them.
this still works, right? Because we wouldn't bring in any more stories if they weren't P2s. Like we wouldn't when we kick off the sprint, we're only gonna bring in when I'm meeting with George and Luke, we would leave the stories in the estimated column if they weren't P2 because we're looking at like, oh, there's this many bugs, et cetera, et cetera. They're gonna stay in the drafting board until we decide to bring them in if there's enough room, or I think this is okay. I think roughly, um, I would just double check to make sure the math makes sense. But I mean, the goal again is to stop when we hit zero. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I would double check to make sure it makes sense. And then do you mind bringing it to the Wednesday call and we can
Mm-hmm.
adopt it? Um, cool. Cool. But so, I mean, the learning here for us is like we have a lot that's going to come over
Yeah, I don't know
um,
like
into the next
there's
sprint. Like, what are we planning on? What was the plan? What are we planning on shipping next sprint? I guess we can take a look at the drafting board to see what the stories are like.
sorry like what was it.
Oh, do you mind going to the drafting board and filtering by the MDM stories? I just want to see, like, we can do some prioritization now, knowing that we're going to be pretty full in the next engineering sprint. Like, it looks like we might have room for like one or two stories if we get to as many bugs as we think we are. So we got to carry that one through. And then the certificates one, which we've also started. And then we've got these public API endpoint, looking at what's in prioritized too.
Sorry, just like wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Better error message.
So we have this is like end of the
Yeah,
next sprint.
these are. I would pull up with a better air. These like this one we can knock out really quick. The same one with controls add updated at timestamp. Like those will be super small, front end only, I think, potentially. And then we've got research, which we're not going to ship anything for, but we might want some engineering capacity next sprint. We probably will dig into that. I mean, nothing on here is super big, right? These
Yeah,
aren't huge stories. Um,
but what's on the roadmap? These are like small improvements. I guess that's why this
mm-hmm.
customer request. This is on the roadmap, I know for sure. This is as well, but yeah, like we moved that, and then this is like tied
Yeah,
to
that
this too. So like, and those
this
are big
one,
ones.
right, right. Although adding a new variable for the username, yeah, that's probably going to be one of the bigger ones. And so will this one. This one will be the biggest, probably.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, yeah, this probably shouldn't be as big.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be huge either. But I mean, I think we have to kick that we want to get to the IDP stuff, but it seems like that one is so big that we're not going to get to start it.
So these are,
Those are P2
yeah,
and then Endes. I mean, it'd be nice if the Endes we're not going to work on, but if we worked on that next sprint with the variable, because those are related. Those are part of the same feature request.
I'm just wondering, like, so I guess we have around 45.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the IDP
all,
one's going to have to go, or it's going to have to wait. I don't see us being able to get to that. I would pull that one to the bottom of your list, I think. We do want to get to it this quarter, but we've got to unblock or like get the smaller stuff through.
I guess like the question is, I think there is enough, like, we say there's 45, we can
Mm-hmm.
probably tackle this one, but there's also a lot of bugs. So I don't know, like, is next sprint also P2s? But I guess then we will have a huge pile of bugs
Yeah, we'll
in
have a
that
huge pile of
case.
bugs. And I think the smaller customer requests we should get to like we should clear up the list of like smaller customer requests, get to those, and then we can have the IDP. We'll have to start IDP in Android, like Android research. We'll have to get some engineering help next sprint too. Do you mind scrolling down to the IDP um, over on the right? That key result over here. Where do we have that one? There it is. And then we have each story happening, one story each sprint. Do you mind scrolling to the right a little bit? If we bumped it out, then it would get pushed out of the quarter unless we worked on variables and labels at the same in the same sprint.
I think um, just to take a quick look.
Yeah.
But I think these two could be like probably one story. So if I remember, we had like so
Mm-hmm.
LDAP integration is no, I think we split because like one thing is okay, integrate LDAP and then get those onto the
Yeah.
host vitals. But I feel it could be
Yeah, we could
worked
work on both of those. Yeah.
like if I move this like here, I don't know, like should I move it right away?
Yeah. I think move it. Go for it.
So it's like I guess then and labeled as I think with bigger.
Uh-huh. Cool. Yeah, I'll take it to do to I'm gonna pull that one off, this one off the drafting board, and I'll let Zay know. Actually, we can do that right now. Do you mind pinging? Because I'll probably forget. Um, Actually, do you mind doing it on the customer request? I've been trying to be consistent about using the for customer success. Oh, it should be linked to um like from the story, you should be able to get to the customer request under original requests. Yeah, and then I would just add a comment here and ping Zay.
Okay.
And I would say something like Noah and I looked at engineering capacity in the next sprint and decided to,
There's this.
yeah, to just push, or and then I would say push the user story, and then we can link to it. Um, I would say push this user story instead of the push this user story to, or like out of the current design sprint. Um, like, and then I would add context like the engineering team is going to prioritize bugs.
This.
Yeah, it looks good. And then I would also add context like we're still targeting delivering this request, like the whole request, right? In Q1. I would just, yeah, I would just say this, the request instead of the whole request, but and then cool. I think that's good for now. And then specific, I would just be specific, I guess, like MDM team instead of engineering team. Cool. And then do you mind actually tagging Luke on it too? Or just Luke won't see it, but give him like an FYI and a follow-up comment and then just point him to that comment so that he's aware of roadmap planning. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. And then you can stay focused on the smaller stuff plus the Android research because we want to get a head start
Mhm.
on Android. It's going to be bigger than we think, I expect. So
I'll just move this of the
Yeah, and
product
I'll take that off.
feature request, I guess.
No, you can leave it. Um, what I would do is put the customer request back on FeatureFest. So go back to the customer request and then throw it on FeatureFest, and that way we'll remember to bring it. We have it tracked on the roadmap, so I'm not too worried about forgetting, but
It's already there, yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. Cool.
So, okay, this is pretty small. I think I can get to this. And then this is in progress, so
Sweet. Um,
sounds
I
good.
know it took up most of our time. We're also 8 minutes over, but do you want to hit some more stuff?
Yeah, if you have some time,
I
I'd
do.
like just to
Yeah.
real quick. Yeah, this is one just wanted to take a look at.
Should we just do, I can do until like the top of the hour. Does that work for you? Like 20 minutes?
Yep,
Okay,
yeah, works for me.
cool.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
this
copy,
is
copy.
yeah, regarding this because now in this duration we want support you can scope or it won't be
Mm-hmm.
scoped. So I was thinking okay, target labels set on the software won't be applied during setup experience. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure
For language, I mean, what do we use? We use custom target, right? It's like custom target, like in the other spot in the UI.
custom
Custom
target. Yeah, it's
target.
like target and then yeah, it's all or custom.
Uh-huh.
Probably we don't need.
I
I
think
was
we
thinking
just call it custom.
labels.
Yeah, but I would just call it custom target, I think. Um, I wonder, it's fine here. Did you try it inside of the software modal too? Like, I wonder if there's a spot that we can put it where I'm trying to think through. So the user is like adding the like they've added the software with their labels, right? Then they're coming in here, adding it to setup experience. I feel like maybe there's somewhere in here. Like we could add like don't we have a pattern for putting something below the table? I don't know. It's just because like it's nice how we don't have a ton of text up front and it doesn't get lost. Like there's a couple things happening in the current copy change. It's like that call out's getting a little bit lost in the paragraph. I wonder if it would be more or better emphasized in the table underneath. Um, you know what I mean?
I guess it's yeah, I guess
Yeah,
whatever
label.
because it's just for I guess we should soon tackle this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we don't know actually. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I
I
feel
would.
like this is pretty kind of important. So probably what I'm thinking is okay, if someone is adding this, they will add and then I guess testing and then we'll realize okay, this isn't okay, I've got this on my
Mm-hmm.
host, even though it's set up and then
Mm-hmm.
they're here. So they'll probably go and see, okay, is it selected? And
Mm-hmm.
then probably at this point we'll realize here.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. And it's like it's almost clearer, easier to notice under the table than it is in that paragraph.
Yeah,
And
let me
then while
just
you're
real
doing
quick.
that, I'm thinking about won't be applied because the user.
I guess something like maybe sure what could be alternative like respected or
Yeah.
not be.
But yeah, I'll let you play with that UI. I'm thinking several.
Sure anymore. Like if we have
What
at
about
all
something like
prioritization.
this? Telling the user what will happen.
Makes sense, I think currently because we are planning to
Yeah,
change that.
yeah. Let's see if it feels too long when it's in that UI.
Try to compare.
Looks like we just have search instead of search by name in the
I think I'm sure if we don't have like just real quick to double check styling
Mhm.
here as well. Like we are not consistent.
With sizing.
Spacing between like these.
Mm,
Sure now like
good
tables have
catch.
some
Here, I can take a screenshot if you're in there. What is it? Padding underneath them.
yeah, and this also
Yeah.
like a bow. So I think it should be like 16
Okay, cool.
here also. We I think this is not defined, but okay, but here it's like different. So like
Yeah, it's worth
it's
filing a bug for
8,
that.
and then below it's less. So I'll just put I'm sure what it should be because like it's
What do you think looks best?
I feel this is definitely so there's like I think 8 and it makes sense. I think label probably should be closer to
Mm-hmm.
because this is more like some form field and then it's like we have
Yeah,
inputs and this like together it's kind of yeah and then this one is probably like could be also the same or 16 I don't know like but
right. This is
this
all one
feels too
unit.
much.
Yeah.
um, just put me some to do.
I did,
I can
yeah.
take
I
a
tracked
look
it.
at this. I can solve this during those days where everyone is off, so I'll just there's a couple of
Yep.
more bugs that I can tackle.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I
uh,
just tracked it on our in our doc.
cool. But yeah, copy wise that's
What did we
here.
have? Here, let's read it while we've got it. Um, Software will be installed on all hosts. Is all hosts clear enough? It's like, I guess you're under setup experience. It's like all hosts when they're unboxed, but I think it's clear enough because you're under setup experience, right?
Yeah.
Maybe software will be installed on all hosts during setup experience, and then currently custom targets don't apply, period.
I don't know, like I like this more.
You like it
You
more?
say, yeah, without,
Okay. Okay. Cool.
because this is, I think, what we want to tell. Okay, we have scope that works, but yeah, like for setup experience, currently it's not supported.
Makes sense.
And hopefully we can tackle this like soon.
Yeah. I think we should follow up pretty quickly. But yeah, that looks good. And then we just need to ping Gabe, right?
Yeah, I'll do that real quick. And
Cool.
there is one more thing I wanted to take a look in this story. Let me just
Okay.
quickly ping Gabe. Where was that? I think I have.
Oh, the Slack thread?
Yeah.
Here, I can say I'm in there right now. Here you go.
Okay. That. Yeah, I think we didn't review this one. So it was, I've added this, like it's about like these activities for edited software, and deleted software when we have
Mm-hmm.
labels. So I changed, yeah, like to include labels in each of these as
Okay,
we
cool.
discussed. And then I also added a UI where we have this show details, but I didn't show this to you.
Okay.
So what I did, I've used this new sort of pattern. We want to have also on the software details where you see URL and all other
Yeah,
stuff. So I think, and this could work for anything else. Like if we have some couple of things or a couple of information that we want to show like this way. So it's like, yeah, we already use this
you
like
got a
styling.
minor capitalization self-service.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But then I think this spot I just added like target and then include any like type of target sort of.
Oh, you've got a
And
couple more, I
then,
think. Self-service, sorry. Just while we're
yeah,
in there. Yeah. Okay. Include any, yeah. Exclude any. What happens when it's all when you don't choose a
um,
target?
that's a good point. Now I'm also thinking because we have like target customer and all.
Uh-huh.
Uh but I was thinking like probably to show this only if there is some target. If not, then just show like without target.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. We could do that. It might
Because
be
it's
nice to show it since there is a target. It's all hosts.
yeah, I think it doesn't bother to have it. Like the only thing is then the it would need to change like target
Right.
all
You could,
hosts.
which you could put exclude and include any parentheses next to your two labels. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, let's just take a look at the UI here. So it's like you're adding, then you have target all hosts custom.
Custom,
And
yeah.
then under custom, you have like, okay, target include any, and then you have labels. So
Right.
now it would be like target, then you will have like, okay, two labels, and then in the parentheses, you'll have, okay, include any of
Mm-hmm.
these two, which makes sense. Yeah, I think. Um,
Do we want to use
just,
custom language again instead of labels? But here, I'll let you play with this first. But yeah, I think I would go with like all hosts as possible is one permutation.
yeah,
I'll take
just maybe
notes
like,
down.
the thing is like, now I think this is already pretty much done. So I'm not sure if Gabe already implemented this.
It should be pretty
Um,
easy change though, I
I guess
think.
so, yeah.
Yeah, front end only. Right, it'd be target, all hosts, and then this would be either, how does it feel if you have custom? Like this could be either labels or custom. How does it
And
read if
then
we have, and then the labels are just underneath in your tooltip? I kind of like it like that. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's more clear, yeah.
and then I think if this is
Then we would light that up. Um, and then as someone looking at this who hasn't configured it, I don't know if I would get it off the bat. Like it's worth, maybe in our tooltip, could we include the same language that we have like when you configure it over here, which is like software is only installed on, where do we have that copy? You know what I mean? Or it's, yeah, that exactly. Software will only be, oh, I guess we have different permutations now, whether it's like automatic and whatnot. Um,
yeah. So and we don't know that in the activity maybe. Yeah, we don't. I think we don't know if the policy is hooked up. So
mm-hmm.
it's more. So I don't know, like if it will be. So we could say okay, available for install
Mm-hmm.
because this like okay, it just creates policy, so we don't know exactly. Okay, is it like automatic or?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. We don't have that. We're not including that piece of data here.
But I feel like okay, if you're here, you're seeing it first time, then you'll see okay, like software target, then you'll probably jump into the software or type like somewhere in the docs custom target or scope or I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you should or exclude any label. If you search that in the docs, you'll find pretty easy what it is, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think in the then this would be like
Yeah, the tooltip would show up. Yeah, exactly. And then we just want like there's one all hosts, probably worth showing. Yeah, that makes sense. Trying to think, is there a way that we can make the copy generic, like where we don't care if it's automatic or um, manual? We can come back though. I just don't know if we will come back to it.
yeah, I guess like what you could additionally do like is include I don't know some like we have similar thing on the
Right,
profiles,
supplemental
not
only
not
means. Yeah.
but this is like
Yeah, we're differentiating between will only be installed is available for install.
Yeah.
Software can only be installed on hosts that have these labels. Software can.
I think that's like could be generic. So
Software can only be installed on hosts that have these labels. I think it's okay for now. We can come back to it just for sake of less too. I think the way we have it now is fine. What do you think? Custom, exclude any label. It's a
I think
target, custom
for
target.
anyone who added once and then seeing this like in action probably will be clear. So might be like tricky for some.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like help desk is
Mm-hmm.
here and then they will probably ask, okay, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but as soon as they, I think, Google or like Fleet and this include any label or whatever,
Yeah.
uh, they should be able to find that.
We can iteratively improve it too. But if we know
I
there's
guess
gonna,
so.
if we suspect there's gonna be confusion now, I feel like that's a good time to just do it, or a good trigger to just have it here. But it's okay. It'll make the tooltip harder to read too. We can come back to it, I think.
Yeah, I guess we need some like a little bit more UI, I guess like could be target, and then we have list of these, and then kind of similar
Hmm.
UI that we have in the software.
Yeah,
So instead of this like simple one, have like some like list of the labels and copy
right.
explaining.
Yeah, I think let's ship it. Let's do this.
I'll just quickly one label. Yeah,
But yeah, I'll leave it to, yeah, and then we'll ping Gabe.
custom. I'll just ping Gabe. Yep. Cool. I'll do that after the meeting.
Sounds good. Yeah, I just left it to do for you.
Cool. There
Right.
is a couple of yeah, we didn't get to this one,
What is this
which
one?
I
Number
this
3.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what I send you in the DM, or like those copy changes for automatic policy creation, like
Uh,
where we exclude exe from it and
this
then some
that's
error
for custom
messages.
packages, right? Different story.
Yeah, wrong one.
Got it, got it. That's why I was confused. Let's see. Oh, and that's expedited drafting.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
I know we
Lucas
are
is working
already,
on it.
yeah, like if you can look async, that's also good.
Okay.
If you want to meet later, I guess you're already pretty packed. I think.
Yeah, I
Um,
throw stuff on my calendar that, but I do have, yeah, I gotta jump for lunch and then I have some meetings after that. I'll take a look async. Lucas is the one working on it, right?
yeah, that's right. So you have everything here. I've just marked, okay, what's added, what's changed.
Cool.
Um, yeah, but this is yeah mostly front end part of it. So yeah,
And Lucas is
and
back
some
in office Thursday, Friday. I was just wondering, we wanted to get it done or like in today probably, but it looks like
today also.
Lucas has, well, I guess we're trying to cut the release candidate today. Is Lucas working on the front end for it too, or is someone else working on the front
Uh,
end? Let's check.
Rachel is on the front end. I know I pinged.
Oh, Rachel Perkins.
Yeah, her. I saw like subtask. It doesn't show up
Oh,
now.
okay.
Okay,
And she's in
here it is. Yeah.
today. Cool, cool, cool. Um, I mean, yeah, let's take a look at it now, I think, just so we get it going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll forget, I think, or
Yes.
I won't get to it as soon.
Stand up seems. I don't know. Like I can skip probably like stand up.
Oh, you have to jump to stand up. Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take here. If you got to jump, I'll take a look async right
Okay.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And then feel free to, I'll just hang out on this call.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when I
I
jump off. Yeah.
I think this should be short. I don't know like how many of us is on, but yeah.
Okay. See you in a
See
sec.
you.
See you.
quick one.
Hey, how you
Hey,
going? How you doing? I'm just massaging the copy a little bit. So, but also before I get to that, um, you had in this dev note here that it should apply to everything except EXEs. Shouldn't we just, we should just show it for everything, I think. Like why,
because
why do
for
this?
EXE, if you look at the bottom, like I disabled that so you can select automatic. And then
Oh,
there's
okay.
like tooltip over it, which shows, okay, this is like, if you just scroll a bit more down, I think,
Yeah,
yeah, there it is. That's what I was thinking. So,
got it, got
um,
it. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, then we can still say if the user selects automatic, show this banner.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Because they can't select automatic here, but I got you.
Right, yep.
And I'm trying to tell, like, both be honest and by telling the user what is going to happen. Like, Fleet, it's like Fleet might install the software on hosts that already have it, but it's really like Fleet might install the software. Like, we know that's a problem. Most IT people know how that can create issues. But as someone who's like new, like why is it bad to install software on hosts that already have it? Like, is there a way that we can explain, like maybe ChatGPT can help us, you know what I mean?
I guess, like, if you install some softwares, install can break software. That's one thing I know. And then another one is like, okay, if
Mm,
it's running and you're installing, so you might close someone's Zoom while they're
mm-hmm.
in a meeting, or if they didn't save something, you close Chrome or whatever. And
Got it, got it.
then like another is like, okay, you're just kind of automatically like you're installing, maybe they lose some preferences as well. So there might be some side effects. And then that could happen, I think, twice. And then it will stop. So it's like I think
Right.
yeah, it's unwanted. So
Yeah, yeah. So like what you're saying is Fleet might break existing.
I don't know, like I would probably skip like and say like existing software might break, so I wouldn't like say fleet because it feels like if it
Yeah.
might.
Oh yeah, okay. So existing software might break if it's installed that already
But I
have it.
think
It's a little bit confusing.
so. I think if we look at the problem is like you set automatic, so
Uh-huh.
like and you have that software already, even though if you don't have it,
Uh-huh.
um, I guess yeah, like if you don't have it, then it's expected to install, but then it might install. And then let's say it's installed, but the policy is wrong, like that name doesn't exist. It will install again over that install. So I think essentially what's this about is like, okay, policy might be wrong
Yeah.
because the names, I don't like how to communicate that in
But yeah, the policy is wrong. That's like how it happens. But the impact is like some software breaks when, I mean, when it's installed on hosts that already have it, when it's like when over existing, there's too many installs in there, but some software breaks when installed over.
yes, installation.
Yeah. When force installed over existing installs. And then here we can work that. And then what you're saying is how that happens is like fleet policy. Could they could miss that the software is already there, or like could fail. Fail is probably the wrong word to detect existing. That's getting there. This is still a little bit wordy.
Maybe automatic policy or
Yeah, but we
some
say that
software
up
breaks.
here. Yeah, some software breaks when installed over existing installs. This is the part that it's like if you didn't know, if you aren't in like the software IT world, you wouldn't know. Like it's really like some software breaks when installed uh when
Maybe
like
like
oh go for it.
I just want to say like instead of some software, maybe like software could break. Like I don't know, it's could break when installed or exiting. Maybe it's just over exiting.
Hmm, that's not quite right. What you were saying, software could break.
When installed over exiting, I guess.
I don't know. There's
Test if
just a lot of
policy
install.
works.
Yeah.
I guess if policy works, that's the
But yeah, I mean, or the install itself, like maybe it doesn't matter. Um, make this easier to understand. See how it does.
I think this is nicer than using break.
Yeah. I like also installing software over existing installations. It's a lot of install. Install might cause issues, but it's a little bit better. Oh, and then this is clear. Fleet policy.
And
That's better than fail.
two dots. Okay.
Fleet policy may not detect.
The existing or existing installations.
Then we say. I do like the smooth to verify a smooth. Then it becomes kind of big, but installing software over existing installations might cause issues. Fleet's policy may not detect these existing installations. Please create a test team in Fleet to verify a smooth installation. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, like installing. I don't know, like I would probably cut the first sentence, but I see like what you're saying. So probably like for someone, okay, uh, like yeah, something. Yeah, I think like they need to know like something might break.
Yeah, it's more
Um,
honest, I think, too.
Yeah, honestly, to me, is like even though it's not like creating an issue, it's just installing two times.
Uh-huh.
It's like already like bad. So you're sending like someone like hosts are downloading twice like big packages, installing,
Right.
maybe removing some like. But yeah, um,
Do we
I think
need this
this,
still?
um, yeah, I was,
Because it's just,
yeah, I don't know, like
yeah.
URL to guide, but I guess like we should probably guides explain a little bit better that part. Okay, so I think we should have section. Okay, for certain software, it could happen that Fleet cannot extract like proper identifier,
Mm-hmm.
which will kind of, yeah, then we'll have like failing policy, constantly like failing policy that will install on
Right.
everything,
But remember,
on every host.
we only install when it goes from passing to fail or no response to fail. Like we don't try if it goes fail. We don't, there's no loop of installs. Like if it stays failed, we only try to install once today.
But if
Right.
isn't it like it's it's failed, I think,
Mm-hmm.
then we so this fails to install once and then it will try, I think, one more time or not.
I think it just stops after that. I think it's just one fail, one install. I guess we should
Yeah.
get that in the guide. I see what you're saying here. I just don't know. Like we should definitely explain it in the guide. Like we should ask Lucas to write it up. It's like, but do we need to point the user here? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe they
I don't
want
know,
to.
like if
Yeah.
we again look at someone who like because you wrote this first sentence for someone who's not aware, so I don't know like how I would solve. So I think I need something like okay, some
Yeah.
examples like okay, this is how policy looks like. So fleet extracted this value, for example. So we give some example maybe, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and then how to solve this is okay, you should install this in your test team,
Mm-hmm.
see what's reported in OS query, like in your software page, and then use that like identifier instead, whatever we did.
Yeah.
Um, I think like I would just say like it should go to guide, and then guide should explain or give example like how to solve if something is wrong, and probably like I could try to find some like example that will fail or won't work, I guess.
Cool. Makes sense. What should we call this stub? Like automatic software
I guess we have
policies?
already. Do we have already guide?
Yeah, we have a guide. But like we want this to be a redirect, right?
Yeah, we have this like automatically installed software.
Okay, cool. Do you mind sending me that link? I think that makes sense.
That
And then up to
one.
you. I mean, we can just get Lucas's help writing that part of the guide, or you can write it. Up to you. But it links to this and then this URL or the above. Automatic software.
We have already learned more about.
We do?
Yeah, it's like learn. I'm sending you a link. This file.
Policy. Oh, okay. We already have this URL. I gotcha. I mean,
I guess I don't know. Like
are we ever gonna want to point somewhere differently? Oops.
I
To
guess
a
good
different
point. Like
spot.
we might. Yeah. So probably like it's worth having dedicated. Or I guess once we want to do that, I think we'll probably then probably safer
Right.
is to have new one.
I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Because then we can always change what it redirects to.
Yep.
later if we want to go to a specific section or something. All right, this makes sense. Installing software, and then it will always show up if you
When
check.
automatic is,
Yeah, if you check automatic. Yeah, I like that. I like this being honest and clear. And then here's the copy. Fleet can't create policy. Select manual. Should we just say like it's not supported yet? I like how you're being honest though. Um,
I think currently what they are we going to support this? Like, I don't think we can like
no,
change
no.
or improve it. Like, um,
Um,
I
I
guess
see what you're
like
saying. Yeah, select manual and add. I mean, what are they doing? Add a custom policy. Trying to think through this copy too. They can't create policy. Why can't they create it? I mean, the reason is because we can't detect existing installations, right? Like we could create a policy. How does this feel?
I think without these probably.
Oh yeah, to detect. I would just say packages to be consistent. And then this is like to automatically install an exe.
So it's feel like that might install select manual.
Yeah, that's why it starts to feel weird. But maybe it's like that's all they can do, right? To automatically
Yeah.
install. Yeah, and write a custom policy or an add a custom.
What if you say to automatically install an exe, add a custom policy on the policy? I think manual is like they can still upload. That should be
Uh-huh.
clear without like select manual.
Oh, okay.
Like I guess to automatically install an exe, upload it, and or maybe just add a custom policy with software install automation or something like that on the policies
Yeah,
page.
add a custom policy and
Enable, thing enable, um, install software automation.
I guess I'll just do lowercase. Yeah, and then we want a comma here. Cool. Okay.
And I guess copy below should be
Uh,
um, somewhat similar.
Something like this. Fleet can't create a policy detecting. Please. Yeah, I like what you're doing here. There's because it's not, they're not in the UI. Uh, Add a custom
Will this like
policy.
please add software and add a custom policy and enable with policy automation to install software. Or I guess we should talk about, let's see what's the field in the UI in the API. It's like something like called install software. So you go like theme policies. If you look at this, just end. So basically, when you're adding, you just say, okay, add software title ID,
Mm,
something like that, because I think we are discussing this or talking to
right.
API users in this
We'll
case.
get we'll get this back to this will come back in the YAML too, right? This will be the same error message.
I think so. Yeah,
I think this is
or I,
okay because we keep it generic. We don't need to go too deep into the
yeah,
keys because the keys will be different for the API and the YAML, right?
that's right. Probably
Okay.
worth. Uh, yeah, I guess like GitOps could return like different message, I think, but
I
that's like
see.
that requires some work, I guess, too.
Yeah, I think this is both. I think good enough for both. Because do we say in the docs?
Or actually, we don't. I think we don't have this feature for GitOps. Like it's just UI API, so we don't have like automatic install.
Right, right. We
Um,
will though
or,
soon. Eugene's
yeah,
working on it. So it's a good point. I mean, this feels good. I think so. So there's like a couple, but yeah, just ping Rachel about UI copy change, and ping Lucas about API.
yeah. And there's two more. Lucas is already in Figma seems.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, there's these two. Like if you see my in Figma, like if you zoom out here,
Mm-hmm.
that's thing we are changing as well.
Mm-hmm. Select
Uh,
manual. Okay, so this is the error.
for
Got it.
MSI and yeah,
Oh, I see, I see. So this is the same set of instructions here, right, in this error.
yep, that's pretty much yeah.
Let's see how it feels here.
It's a little bit different, I think, in this case because most of them will what I said, like probably we could say like policy.
Policy that triggers automatic install.
Because this is on this page and you see like okay in this copy up here
Right.
that like okay this is like policy triggers and then we just
Uh-huh.
say okay couldn't add policy can be created
Right.
or probably couldn't
Yeah.
be created because bundle identifier can be extracted. And then
Right.
I think we should reuse some copy from here like to automatically install. I
Mm-hmm.
would do like I'll just copy real quick
Yeah, go for it.
in this one to automatically install, add a custom policy and enable the installs automation on the policies page. Bit long.
Yeah. I mean, to automatically install, what do they have to do? They have to add the software Add a custom policy. I think it's okay though. Yeah, it's okay. I think users will figure it out, and if not, we can always improve these error messages.
Yeah.
So it did,
So I think
yeah,
for
policy couldn't be created because
I'll just
product.
copy over and then
Okay,
yeah, and then write product GID.
cool. Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's and then I don't know, like if you look at this, I'll share real quick.
Okay.
Um, so there is like each policy that's created had like a description. We did this like for fleet maintained. So basically, it's fleet, like policy triggers automatic install of software title name on each host
Mm-hmm.
that's missing this software. But also I added like in case of DB and RPM some additional
Mm-hmm.
like descriptions. So software won't be installed on Linux host with Debian based distributions because this policy query is written to always pass on these hosts.
Yeah.
And then same for RPM based. So like this is like general one, but if it's this one and then there's like additional sentence on DB and RPM once. Just wanted to
Yeah, that makes sense. Looks good. Good call.
cool. Cool. Yeah, I think that's and yeah, that's it. Probably we should just notify Rachel because yeah, like
Yeah,
we did a couple of changes here. Lucas is already aware of these for descriptions
makes
and
sense.
this thing.
Yeah. I just dropped it to do. Here, I'll pull it up so you don't miss it. Uh,
Hmm.
Higher in the design review doc. Because yeah, that one is in progress. There was one more story, right? Um, oh, the one that you were gonna ping Gabe on. Here, I'll pull up both of those.
I think Gabe, like I mentioned that during stand up and send the URL. So
Oh, was
um
there something different for here? There's this one too. Activities.
yeah, I already told that to Gabe.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And I
Cool.
jumped into stand up because it's only Gabe and Victor and Eugene.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right, then we can take that one out, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it's just that one. Sweet. Sweet.
And I think that's pretty much it. And I think you had this one
Yeah,
about some OS
we can hit
updates.
it
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's not
right.
not urgent. I gotta hop to get some lunch in.
Cool, cool.
But yeah, thanks for pinging those folks. Have a
Yeah,
good
thank you for staying longer.
Yeah, yeah. You too. Have a good rest of your night, Marco. I'll
Thanks, you too.
see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you. Bye.